What if I told you that 99% of people trying to lose weight are doing it the hard way and they don't even know it? They count calories, skip meals, or spend hours on the treadmill, yet the scale refuses to move. Why? Because they're ignoring one tiny hormone that controls everything. It's not about willpower, it's not about starving yourself, it's about understanding insulin, the real gatekeeper of fat loss. When your insulin levels stay high, your body can't burn fat. It's like a switch that's stuck in storage mode. You can eat less, you can move more, but the fat just won't budge. That's why so many people feel trapped in a cycle that never ends. But here's the twist. When you learn how to turn that insulin switch off at the right times, your body starts burning fat naturally, even while you rest. This isn't a fad or a miracle promise, it's pure science, and it's what most diets completely overlook. In this video, you're going to discover the simple insulin trick that helps your body do what it was always meant to do, burn fat efficiently. By the end, you'll understand how just one small change in timing, food choice, or habit can speed up your weight loss like never before. So stay with me till the end, because once you learn this, you'll never look at weight loss the same way again. Insulin is one of the most powerful hormones in your body. It's produced by your pancreas, and its main job is to help move sugar from your blood into your cells, where it's used for energy. Every time you eat, especially when you eat carbohydrates or sugar, your insulin levels rise. That's completely normal. It's how your body keeps your blood sugar stable. But here's where things start to go wrong. When insulin stays high for too long, it can completely block your ability to burn fat. You see, insulin doesn't just move sugar, it also acts like a gatekeeper that decides whether your body stores fat or burns it. When insulin is elevated, your body is told, store energy, don't release it. That means even if you eat less or exercise more, your body might still hold on to fat because the signal to release it is turned off. This is why some people eat very little and still struggle to lose weight. It's not about how much they eat, but how their hormones respond to what they eat. Most people trying to lose weight have no idea that insulin plays such a massive role. They follow calorie-restricted diets, skip breakfast, or go on extreme workout routines. And sure, they might lose a few pounds in the beginning, but sooner or later the weight comes back. Why? Because they never address the real issue, their constantly high insulin levels. You can think of insulin as a fat-storing hormone. When it's high, fat storage is on. When it's low, fat burning is on. The problem is that most modern diets and eating habits keep it high almost all the time. Every time you snack, drink something sweet, or eat processed food, your insulin spikes again. Even if the food seems healthy, like fruit juice, low-fat snacks, or cereal, it can still send insulin soaring. And when insulin remains elevated throughout the day, your body never gets a chance to switch into fat-burning mode. Instead, it keeps storing whatever you eat. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, where your body needs to release more and more insulin to do the same job. It's a vicious cycle that leaves you tired, hungry, and stuck in a fat storage state. High insulin doesn't just block fat burning, it affects your hunger and cravings too. When your blood sugar crashes after a spike, you suddenly crave more food, especially carbs and sweets. You eat again, insulin rises again, and the cycle repeats. It's why you might feel hungry only an hour after eating. It's not that you need more food, it's that your hormones are confused. The constant ups and downs of insulin create chaos in your metabolism. And here's something few people realize. Reducing calories alone doesn't fix this problem. You could be eating less, but if your meals still trigger big insulin spikes, you won't burn fat efficiently. Your body will simply slow down your metabolism to conserve energy. You'll feel weak, irritable, and hungry. All signs that your body is fighting back. That's why so many diets fail. They focus on restriction instead of regulation. You don't just need fewer calories, you need stable insulin. Imagine your body as a hybrid car. It can run on sugar or fat. When insulin is low, your body runs on fat, smooth and efficient. But when insulin is high, it locks the fuel tank and forces your body to run on sugar. Once the sugar runs out, you crash and your body screams for more food. The key to unlocking fat loss isn't starving yourself. It's learning how to keep insulin calm so your body can finally use its fat stores for fuel. The truth is, many people never get into a true fat-burning state because they're constantly stimulating insulin from morning to night. Breakfast cereal, mid-morning snacks, sugary drinks, even late-night meals all keep insulin elevated. When you stop doing that and allow your insulin to drop for a few hours, something amazing happens. Your body starts tapping into stored fat. You feel more energized, your hunger decreases, and your metabolism becomes more flexible. That's why understanding insulin is the foundation of smart, sustainable weight loss. It's not just about willpower or diet trends, it's about working with your biology instead of against it. Once you learn how to manage insulin through what you eat, when you eat, and how often you eat, everything starts to change. You lose fat more efficiently, your energy stabilizes, and your cravings fade. The scale moves, but more importantly, you start to feel in control again. Most people have been told that losing weight is all about calories in versus calories out, but that's only half the story. The other half, the part that really determines success, is how your hormones respond. Insulin sits at the center of that equation. When you balance insulin, fat loss stops being a struggle. It becomes natural, predictable, and sustainable. That's the secret most people never hear, yet it's the one thing that can change everything about how you lose weight. Most people trying to lose weight think they already know what to do. Eat less, move more, burn more calories than you take in. That's the advice we've all heard for decades. It sounds logical and simple, but if it really worked, obesity wouldn't be such a global problem today. The truth is, millions of people follow these exact steps every year, and yet most of them regain the weight within months. The missing piece isn't effort, it's understanding how the body truly works. And that's where the hidden factor, insulin, quietly controls the outcome. Traditional weight loss advice focuses on surface-level changes. People start counting calories, forcing themselves to eat smaller portions or spend hours doing cardio. In the beginning, it seems to help. The scale moves a little and motivation rises, but soon progress slows, energy drops, hunger increases, the body fights back. That's because when insulin stays high, no matter how many calories you cut, your body refuses to release stored fat. You can't burn what your hormones are trying to save. It's like pressing the gas pedal while your car is still in park. A lot of effort, no movement. Cardio and dieting alone don't solve this because they don't address the hormonal signal that locks fat in place. When you eat frequently or consume foods that spike blood sugar, insulin levels remain elevated for hours. So even if you exercise intensely, your body still chooses sugar as its main fuel, not fat. That's why some people can jog for weeks and see little difference in their waistline. They're burning energy, yes, but not tapping into the right source of energy. The body is wired to burn sugar first when insulin is high, leaving fat untouched. The hidden factor rarely discussed in mainstream advice is that insulin isn't just a blood sugar regulator, it's a master controller of metabolism. It determines whether your body stores energy or releases it. When you eat in a way that constantly triggers insulin, you're telling your body, store fat, don't use it. When you lower insulin, you send the opposite message, unlock stored fat and use it for energy. This single shift changes everything. It's not about starving, it's about teaching your body to burn smarter. The insulin trick is simple but powerful. It's about lowering insulin levels enough and often enough to allow your body to access fat stores naturally. You do this not by extreme dieting, but by changing when and what you eat. That means spacing your meals, reducing snacking, choosing foods that don't cause big insulin spikes, and allowing your body time to reset between meals. The quality of your carbohydrates matters too. Whole foods like vegetables, legumes, and unprocessed grains create a smaller insulin response compared to sugary snacks or refined carbs. Healthy fats and proteins, eaten in balance, help keep insulin steady. Recent research supports this approach. Studies show that controlling insulin through meal timing, intermittent fasting, or lower carb diets leads to improved fat burning, better energy, and fewer cravings. People who regulate insulin often experience steady, effortless weight loss, not the yo-yo effect seen in typical diets. Even without cutting a massive amount of calories, they see the metabolism shift toward fat burning. That's because once insulin levels drop, the body can finally access the energy stored in fat cells, In a sense, the insulin trick teaches your body to use the fuel it already has. What makes this strategy so effective is that it works with your biology instead of against it. Most weight loss plans ignore how insulin affects everything, from your hunger signals to how your cells process energy. The insulin trick aligns your eating habits with your natural rhythms. When you give your body longer gaps without food, insulin falls. When you eat foods that digest slowly, insulin stays balanced. Over time, this improves sensitivity, meaning your body needs less insulin to do the same job. That's the opposite of insulin resistance, which traps people in weight loss frustration. In the bigger picture of weight loss, managing insulin is the foundation that supports everything else. You can still eat healthy, exercise, and track calories, but those efforts work far better once insulin is under control. It's like unlocking the main door before cleaning the rooms. If you don't address insulin, your results will always be limited. But when you do, every small effort multiplies. Your body stops fighting against you and starts working for you. Many people think losing weight is about discipline. In reality, it's about direction. If your energy is directed toward the wrong mechanism, you'll only spin your wheels. The insulin trick gives that direction. It reminds you that the real secret isn't found in another new diet or supplement, but in restoring the body's natural ability to burn fat efficiently. Once insulin becomes your ally instead of your obstacle, weight loss stops being a mystery. It becomes something predictable, sustainable, and entirely within your control. Think of insulin as a light switch that controls your body's ability to burn fat. When the switch is turned on, your body is in storage mode. When the switch is off, your body moves into fat-burning mode. Every time you eat, especially something high in sugar or refined carbs, insulin rises and your body receives the message to store energy. That means the food you eat, even the healthy parts of it, gets packed away into your liver, muscles, and fat cells for later use. The problem is that for many people, this switch never turns off. Insulin stays elevated for most of the day because of constant eating, snacking, and poor food choices, and as long as it stays on, fat burning stays locked. When insulin is high, your body prioritizes burning glucose, not fat. Fat becomes trapped inside your fat cells because insulin tells your body, we already have energy, no need to use stored fuel. So even if you eat fewer calories, your body can't access the fat reserves efficiently. That's why people can diet hard and still feel stuck. But once insulin levels start to drop, something remarkable happens. The body begins to tap into stored fat for energy. Hunger decreases naturally, energy levels rise, and weight loss feels smoother and more sustainable. It's not about pushing harder, it's about flipping that switch in your favor. Research consistently supports this. Studies have shown that lowering insulin, either through meal timing, fasting, or reducing carb intake, leads to better weight loss outcomes compared to traditional calorie-restricted diets. When insulin levels remain low for longer periods, fat oxidation, the process of burning stored fat, increases. People not only lose more fat, but often maintain their muscle mass and report higher energy levels. In other words, controlling insulin doesn't just make you leaner, it makes you feel better while getting there. It aligns your metabolism with how your body was designed to function. Now let's break down how you can use this insulin trick in a simple step-by-step way. The first step is to choose foods that keep insulin levels steady. These are foods that don't cause a big spike in blood sugar. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods, things like vegetables, eggs, lean meats, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats. Replace refined carbs like white bread, pastries, and sugary drinks with complex carbs such as quinoa, brown rice, or lentils. The key is to avoid foods that cause sharp insulin spikes and crashes. Once you begin to stabilize your meals, your body will automatically reduce the number of insulin surges it has to handle every day. The second step is about timing your meals. This part is often overlooked but makes a huge difference. Constant grazing keeps insulin elevated, so try spacing your meals to give your body a break. For example, allow at least 4 to 5 hours between meals and avoid snacking in between. Some people find success by finishing dinner earlier in the evening and letting the body rest overnight without food. Late-night eating keeps insulin up while you sleep, preventing the body from entering fat-burning mode. Giving yourself a longer overnight gap can make a big difference in how efficiently you burn fat. The third step is movement, and it doesn't have to mean extreme workouts. Simple, consistent activity helps improve insulin sensitivity, which means your body needs less insulin to do the same job. Walking after meals, strength training, or even light stretching can all help your muscles use up the glucose in your blood, reducing the need for extra insulin. The goal isn't to burn calories in the moment, but to make your body more responsive and efficient over time. When your muscles are active, insulin works better and fat burning becomes easier. Step 4 is about sleep, stress, and lifestyle habits. Poor sleep or chronic stress can raise insulin and other hormones like cortisol, which block fat burning. When you're sleep deprived, your body becomes more insulin resistant, meaning it needs to produce more insulin to manage the same amount of food. Managing stress through breathing, mindfulness, or simply getting enough rest can keep hormones balanced and insulin under control. Small changes in your daily rhythm, like sleeping on time, managing emotional eating, and staying hydrated, can have a powerful effect on insulin stability. The fifth step is to monitor your progress, not just by looking at the scale, but by noticing how your body feels. Are you less hungry between meals? Do you have more energy throughout the day? Are your cravings fading? These are all signs that insulin is coming back into balance. When that happens, fat loss becomes a side effect of better hormonal health, not a forced outcome. The body starts working with you instead of against you. Using the insulin trick is not about perfection or strict rules, it's about awareness. Each time you choose a low insulin food, skip that unnecessary snack, or go for a short walk after eating, you're flipping the switch toward fat burning mode. Over time, these small, smart decisions retrain your metabolism. The fat that once felt impossible to lose finally begins to melt away, not because you're starving yourself, but because your body has been given permission to do what it's meant to do. This is how mastering insulin transforms weight loss from a constant battle into a natural process. When it comes to lowering insulin, food is your most powerful tool. The right choices can calm your hormones, reduce cravings, and keep your body in fat-burning mode longer. It's not about eating less, it's about eating smarter. Start with real, whole foods that your body can recognize and process naturally. Vegetables should be at the heart of your meals. Leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, cucumbers, and bell peppers are low in carbs and high in fiber, which helps slow digestion and prevents insulin spikes. Fiber acts like a natural brake pedal for your blood sugar. It keeps your energy steady and helps you feel full for longer. Protein is another key player. Lean sources such as eggs, fish, chicken, turkey, and legumes keep you satisfied without triggering a big insulin response. Protein also helps preserve muscle while your body burns fat. Healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds are equally important. They digest slowly, giving your body a steady stream of energy without sudden blood sugar jumps. When fats and proteins are combined with fiber-rich foods, insulin stays calm and steady. That's the environment where fat loss thrives. Complex carbohydrates are not the enemy. Whole grains, lentils, quinoa, and sweet potatoes provide energy without the sharp insulin rise caused by refined carbs. The difference lies in how slowly they break down. The slower the digestion, the smaller the insulin spike. You don't need to eliminate carbs, you just need to choose the right ones and eat them in balance. Pairing them with protein and fiber reduces their impact even more. Timing also matters. Having your carb-rich foods earlier in the day gives your body more time to use that energy rather than store it. What you should avoid or limit are foods that send insulin levels soaring quickly. Refined carbohydrates like white bread, pastries, pasta, and sugary cereals are the main culprits. They break down rapidly into glucose, flooding your bloodstream and forcing your pancreas to release a rush of insulin. The same goes for sugary drinks, sodas, fruit juices, and even many so-called healthy smoothies can cause massive spikes. Ultra-processed foods are just as harmful. They're engineered to taste good, but usually contain a mix of sugar, refined oils, and additives that confuse your hormones and create cravings. These foods don't just raise insulin, they make you hungrier, which keeps the cycle going. Beyond food, your habits shape how your body handles insulin. Regular movement throughout the day improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your body needs less insulin to process food. You don't need to live at the gym. Simple things like walking after meals, stretching, or standing more often can make a big difference. Sleep is another critical factor. When you don't sleep enough, your body becomes more insulin resistant. Even one bad night can increase hunger hormones and make you crave sugar. Getting at least 7 hours of quality sleep each night helps your hormones reset and your metabolism stay balanced. And then there's the myth that all carbs are bad. That's simply not true. Your brain and muscles need some glucose to function properly. The key is to choose carbs that digest slowly and to eat them at the right time. A handful of berries, a serving of quinoa, or some roasted vegetables won't sabotage your progress. But eating refined carbs late at night or all throughout the day will. It's not about total elimination, it's about control and awareness. Lowering insulin isn't about strict diets or perfection. It's about creating a lifestyle where your food choices, movement, sleep, and stress all work together. Every balanced meal, every walk after dinner, every restful night helps keep insulin low and stable. Over time, your body becomes more efficient, your energy increases, and your cravings disappear. That's when you know your metabolism has shifted from storing fat to burning it naturally and effortlessly. When people start applying the insulin trick, one of the first things they notice isn't just weight loss, it's how their body feels different. Within a few days to a couple of weeks, energy levels begin to stabilize. That mid-afternoon crash fades, and hunger starts to calm down. It's like the constant noise of cravings turns down a few notches. This happens because when insulin stops spiking all day, your body can finally access stored fat for energy. You're not ruled by sugar highs and lows anymore. Many people describe it as a kind of steady power, a more natural rhythm of hunger and fullness that feels effortless compared to strict dieting. But everyone's timeline is different. Some may notice changes in just a week, while others need a few months to see real fat loss. The body's history matters. Years of poor sleep, stress, or overprocessed eating can make insulin resistance stronger, and that takes time to reverse. It's not about how fast you lose weight, it's about how deeply your metabolism heals. For some, the scale doesn't move right away, but clothes fit differently, waistlines shrink, and inflammation drops. That's real progress, even if the number hasn't changed yet. It's important to set realistic expectations because this isn't a crash diet, it's a reset of your internal wiring. You're teaching your body to burn fat again instead of storing it. That's not something that happens overnight. But when it does, it sticks. Drastic approaches like starving yourself or cutting all carbs might seem faster, but they often backfire. The insulin trick works on consistency, not extremes. Missing a perfect day doesn't erase your progress. What counts is the pattern most of your days supporting lower insulin levels through smarter food choices, better timing, and stress control. That's where the real transformation begins. Think of it like planting a tree. The first few weeks, it seems like nothing is happening because the roots are growing underground. Once those roots are strong, the visible growth becomes rapid. Your metabolism works the same way. You might not see results right away, but beneath the surface, insulin sensitivity is improving. Fat cells are beginning to open, and your energy pathways are changing. Then, all of a sudden, it feels like your body starts cooperating again. Imagine a typical person who begins using this insulin trick. Let's say they've tried countless diets before, low fat, low calorie, endless cardio, and nothing lasts. They always feel hungry, tired, and defeated. Then they learn that their problem isn't willpower, it's insulin. They start by cutting back on sugary drinks, adding more protein and fiber, and spacing meals so they're not grazing all day. Within 2 weeks, their cravings drop sharply. By the end of the first month, their morning energy is back. Their clothes fit differently, their stomach feels less bloated, and they realize they don't need snacks every 2 hours to survive. They didn't go to extremes, they didn't starve, they just understood how to stop flipping the fat storage switch on all day long. The transformation wasn't about chasing fast results, it was about working with their body instead of fighting it. Over time, those small, consistent habits rewired their metabolism completely. That's the beauty of the insulin trick. It's not a short-term fix, it's a long-term system reset. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes. The first few days take awareness, but soon it turns into a natural way of living. You stop counting calories and start feeling your body's cues again. You begin to understand what foods make you feel stable and what foods throw you off. So yes, you can start noticing early wins, clear thinking, fewer cravings, steady energy. Fat loss might follow slowly, but when it does, it's sustainable. You won't have to keep losing the same 10 pounds again and again. This is about healing your metabolism, not punishing it. Be patient with your progress. You didn't create insulin resistance overnight, and you won't fix it overnight, but with steady, mindful choices, your body can absolutely turn the corner. If someone else can make it work, someone who was once stuck, frustrated, and skeptical, then so can you. Their success isn't luck, it's biology done right. The same rules apply to you. Once you learn how to keep insulin balanced, the body starts to cooperate. And when that happens, weight loss stops being a battle and starts feeling like a natural, inevitable outcome. Lowering insulin isn't just about losing weight. It's about unlocking your body's natural ability to burn fat, feel energized, and stay healthy without constant struggle. When insulin comes down, your body finally shifts from storing fat to using it for fuel. That's the real secret behind faster, sustainable results. And here's the truth. This one trick that 99% of people miss might be the very thing that changes the game for you. It's not about perfection, it's about understanding how your body truly works and making small, consistent choices that keep insulin in balance. Once you do that, everything starts to feel easier. Hunger fades, energy rises, and progress finally sticks. So start today, try it for a week. Notice how you feel. Your future self will thank you for taking control now instead of waiting for another perfect plan. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more simple science-based health and nutrition tips from Dr. Jamnadas, and let us know in the comments, which part of the insulin trick are you going to try first?